Okay, here we go. I don't know. This is going to be weird, but we'll figure it out. The first thing I need you to know is that I need you to know how much I've missed being with you every single day, and that this feels good even though it's weird. I feel glad that I get a chance to talk to you, even though I have to look at my ugly mug on this monitor, but I'm excited to get a chance to get started here. There are lots of questions that will have to be answered, and we'll figure those out as we go. But the absolute number one thing, and I hope you know this, is that I hope you're healthy. And I mean that physically, emotionally, spiritually, academically, all of those things. And if that doesn't feel like that for you, and if there's any way that I can help with that, please, please, please let me know. That's super important to me. So this video is just going to be to kind of introduce you a little bit to how this is going to work. And we'll see. It's how I think it'll work right now, but realistically, things will probably change. So bear with me. So the first thing, this is how, at least how your administrators are thinking you're going to get to your class materials. Now, whether that's true or not, we'll see. But this is from the Student HyperDoc. There is this message from Mr. TG and Mr. Schmidt. It's at the top of the Student HyperDoc. I think it was also sent out to you. You can watch that if you want to. The next thing on this is the Student e-learning HyperDoc. You can read your daily check-in. I don't know if it will be or not, but I'm going to show you. Here's the way they're envisioning that it'll work. You go to this Student HyperDoc. There are things on here about your daily schedule. There's things here about attendance. There's things if you have questions or concerns. There's things about announcements like Spirit Week, which was last week. Different things like that you can find and you can look into. But first, I want to talk as an overview, daily attendance. Hopefully you've gotten notified about this. You've heard from your advisory teacher. Attendance is going to be taken every single day through your advisory teacher. Now, they're going to do that different ways. I'm going to send out a remind to my advisory each day, and they're going to click on a Google form quick, check in, that's attendance for the day. We are being asked to enter that in Skyward, so I want you to know, please take that seriously. Some teachers are putting that out on their site, Schoology, Google Classroom, whatever. So check with your advisory teacher on that. The other thing over here is, their suggestion is that students are going to go to their schoolwork through the teacher's web pages. I don't know if you're really going to do that, but here's the thing. If you click here, you can go to teacher web pages. This is the junior, senior high school staff. Scroll down to the teacher that you are trying to find. In this case, let's go to mine. If you click on this, it takes you to my site. Now, there's a whole bunch of stuff up here that you don't have to care about that has been out there forever, or since the beginning of the school year at least. I forget about all that stuff. There's the two things right here. E-learning links, these are the two. This one is put out there by Mrs. Lardy and the rest of the student support team. I think it's really important. I'm going to put it in a couple different places that you can find it. I'll show you. It's a separate site that has a lot of information for students. There's a webinar that you can find out all kinds of information about COVID-19. There's also lots of things about who your student support team are, stress management and wellness resources. You can click on those local resources, educational resources, just a lot of resources that are going to be available to you if that's interesting. And that link will be all over the place. It's on that Student HyperDoc as well. The other link here on my website is Schoology for all courses. And so if you click on this, it'll take you to the link that says, you need to log into Schoology. And so I will log in here. Obviously, mine will look a little bit different from you because I have classes set up as an instructor. I've created one called a practice class just to show you what it might look like. Click on your class, of course. And again, here, mine will look a little bit differently than yours will because I can add resources to it. Here's that student support link again. I want to make sure that people can get to that whenever they need to or want to, or if it's appropriate. This is just a document you can click on later. I want to show you one thing about this and other things within Schoology. Maybe you already know it. If you click on a link, sometimes it goes, there's nothing here. That's weird. Certain types of pages, you have to pop them out, and it will take you to that page, right? So just if you open a page on Schoology and there's nothing there, it might be that you need to pop it out using that little tool right there. there is this is a document that you can read at your leisure. What's this going to look like? It's kind of sort of my philosophy of e-learning and how that's going to look, and it's going to be different from other teachers, but that's kind of what I'm a little bit about my philosophy. You can read it if you want to or not. I don't care. But it's out there. Skipping over this for just a second, this folder will always be here. This is general info. I don't know what else. It has the sheet that I sent you before about all the logins. What are the codes for Schoology for your particular hour? What are the codes for Khan Academy for your particular hour? All of those kinds of things. You can click on that. That information will always be there for you. This final folder, previous weeks, guess what that is? As we go through weeks, I will put all the links from the previous week in this folder, so you can always look at, what happened last week, or where was that one document, or whatever. It'll always be in here. The current week, right now I have it called the week of March 30th through April 3rd. It might be just called current week. I'm not sure. We'll see. But you click on that. It opens up. Now this opens up. It's just a HyperDoc. It opens up within this window in Schoology, which, I don't know, if you don't mind that, that's okay. That's annoying to me. Again, click this little pop-out deal, and it'll pop it out, and you'll have access to the whole document. And so, I'm going to try to keep this pretty consistent, but who knows? It'll change as we figure out what's working and what's not. Sample class for this week. There will be a weekly overview. What are we doing this week? What's going on here? What's the overview of the topic? I'll try to have a link here to a Padlet that you can click on. If you have any just general questions, you can do that. Any resources or links that might be for the week, maybe some Google Slides, or maybe some documents, or who knows what, but those resources for the whole week I'll try to have up at the top. And then it's not really a calendar, but just a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Basically, when you look at it, Monday, okay, so this is today. I'll try to keep this pretty consistent just so we have a routine. Your first task is pretty much always going to be to watch the daily video. Now, for today, this is the same one that you're watching right now, that I sent you through Remind, I sent you through email, because you may not have known to go to this just yet. But there will be a link here, and it'll just say, hey, what's up for today, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I'm sure I'll say something super profound, aka stupid, but there'll be something there. Then there will be some steps. For today, when you get to your own class, you're going to see, make sure that you can sign into Schoology. Make sure you can sign into Khan Academy. Make sure you can sign into AP Classroom. Maybe make sure you can sign into the Advanced Algebra online textbook. Whatever it might be, there's a list on your particular class you can look at. Then every day, the final thing will be to complete this daily check-in. Now, the daily check-in is just because our administrators want us to have some way of recognizing that you are engaging with this curriculum each day. Right? Now, I don't know how that's going to work. I'm going to try to have the academic content for the whole week out here at the beginning, because it might work best for you to spend 2 hours on math and be done with it and not have to think about it for the rest of the week. Or it might work for you to not do it for a while and then work on some on Wednesday and some on Thursday and be done. I don't really care about that, how you break up that, and have kind of goals for the week. But this daily check-in, you'll click on it, of course, it's a Google Doc, and it's going to have 2 questions. What did you work on today? And then how did that go? Now, be honest on this. Don't say, oh, I spent 2 hours working on my math and I really nailed it. If you say, hey, today I worked on my chemistry because I'm going to work on math tomorrow. Great, that's fine. Just, it tells me that you looked at this, you were in here today, you checked on math, and that's good, right? So, be honest. I don't care, but I would like to see something from each of you each day. It's going to collect your school email, so you don't have to type in your name and all that stuff. It does mean you'll need to be logged into your school email when you are doing these things, whether it's on your phone or wherever else. But just a daily check-in each day, and it'll take you not very long, hopefully. So back here, that'll be, and then this is where, if there's a Zoom meeting scheduled for that day, I will schedule some periodically. Those will always be, almost always be optional. Maybe there will be one that I need everyone to log into, but mostly it'll be, hey, if you have some questions or if you have whatever, feel free to log into this Zoom meeting and and then we'll talk about whatever we need to. It'll give us a chance to do a little bit of kind of face-to-face-ish time, and do some things. I will always record those, and I will always link those after they're done, so that if you aren't at that Zoom meeting, you can access that anytime. Because maybe we went over a question, and you want to find out the answer to that or something. I don't know. There will be today's task for Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. Friday will be very similar. I mean, it'll be the exact same thing. Watch the daily video. Blah, blah, whatever. Complete the daily check-in. And then on Fridays, I'm going to actually ask you to complete a weekly self-assessment. I'm going to do homework like I've always done. It's based on your effort. And I don't know what that's going to look like over this period of time. So I'm going to ask you to say, did you work as hard as you could or should have, right? This weekly self-assessment is going to have, maybe a couple questions, but I'm going to ask you to rate yourself for the week on a scale of, I don't know if it'll be 0 to 10 or 0 to 20, where it'll just say, yep, this is what I did. I'm not asking for, 2 points each day or anything like that, because maybe for this week, Wednesday was math day. I don't know. And so this will be a weekly self-assessment that I'm going to ask you to assess yourself. Again, on a scale of 0, no, I didn't even try, I didn't do anything, to 10, hey, I really gave it my best effort. I tried to do the things each day, or I tried to do the stuff for the week, or whatever. And again, Zoom meetings will be as needed throughout the week. I will also schedule some kind of set office hours where I will be right next to my email. If you have a question, you send it, and I will try to respond virtually right away during those office hours. Of course, always, 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 if you have questions, you email me, or you text me through Remind, or you or just text me. I don't care. Let me know what you need, and I will try my best to help you with it. I think that's about it. Of course, there will be other questions, and as those come up, shoot me an email or put it on the Padlet, and I will try to address those, because if you have that question, I guarantee other people do too. One big concern that one student shared with me as we were going into this e-learning type thing is, what about the Deep Thought by Jack Handey? And I'm pretty sure Bryant is the only one that cares about the deep thoughts, but I will try to provide those for you to give you some deep things to think about. So before we leave for today, I will share with you this Deep Thought by Jack Handey. To me, it's a good idea to always carry 2 sacks of something when you walk around. That way, if anybody says, hey, can you give me a hand? You can say, sorry, got these sacks. That's deep.